YouTube. Okay.
I think that hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Well, as much as you and I loved seeing the walruses dancing with the guns, evidently YouTube decided that it was violent and that it was promoting gun violence when I thought it was just a funny cartoon.
I thought so too.
We really don't want bunnies to be attacking anyone.
No. Whimsy, I even want
bunnies with guns.
I know. I wonder if it was even like bots or something. That pulled it up, like it didn't even feel like human logic.
That's a great song though. But yeah, I guess the imagery in the cartoons triggered something and we got kicked off. It wouldn't have even entered my mind that would be considered, because we don't usually, it's a satire cartoons, but I guess even satire cartoons.
Exactly. Well, it's a lesson for the future for all of us, just to be more careful with that type of thing. But you and I always have honorable intentions when we come on here.
This is true. I'm just checking the stream. So Chuck, what I was talking about, and we'll just people will find the stream again. It's cool. I'm actually trying to edit. I did a typo here.
I'm looking here, and of course we don't have any comments that we can read right now.
I've got that down like that. Oh well.
We'll just we'll wing this.
Oh, they'll be here. They'll be here soon enough, darling. They'll be here soon enough.
We have wonderful people. We have wonderful, loyal, beautiful people. They'll be here. So, Whimsy, what should we do?
Oh,
do we pick up?
God, what a stupid thing. They're saying it is a firearm. For the love of God, it's a damn cartoon.
No common sense, but I'm being careful what I say because I don't want to further agitate the YouTube people. But it's just,
oh my God.
It's something out of our control.
Of all the things we would get into trouble for.
I know the things that we have said on here.
I know. It's absolutely crazy. So let's go back into it and let's talk a little bit about this issue we were talking about before, which had to do with the fact that for every action, there's a reaction of equal or greater force. And that means that, when you have all this incredible fire energy moving in, as we do, then what happens is you wind up with this similar kind of reaction of this water energy coming in, and that can be very, very destructive. So my prediction, what I had said to you is it would not surprise me if this administration is not going to be able to handle this disaster. And because because they can't handle this disaster, it doesn't surprise me if we could be looking at a major emergency in the United States in the coming days.
It could be dire, because I had mentioned earlier there have already been emergencies declared in 12 states, spanning like a 2,000-mile stretch of the United States. And it seems to be mostly around the southern area, like Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, my home state of Virginia. Yeah, more so than further up north, where our dear friend Joyce Petrus is in Iowa.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know where everybody is who watches the stream. We're not back on YouTube yet because they thought that our cartoon was promoting violence. I guess we got in trouble.
We're playing to our other platforms right now.
So just tell everybody to come over to Facebook. Just let everybody know we're on Facebook. Yeah, but that's okay. We'll just upload it. But we got in trouble. That was a cartoon with walruses and bunnies.
It was an adorable cartoon. People even commented how much they loved it. And
well, it got us in trouble.
It sure did. Of all the things, Whimsy. All the things that get us in trouble. It's ironic,
Yeah. Oh well, we've done so many naughty things throughout our lives. I figure, just as long as they don't permanently prevent us from being able to do this, because gosh, that would be terrible. Yeah. So you had talked to me about the fact that you had been doing some interesting channels. Is that correct? You'd been doing some interesting channeling as a result of this.
Well, not as a result of this so much. I I just had a message from 3 weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to read yet on the show, and I don't know if today's the appropriate time either. But when you say channeling, you mean around the weather situation?
No, you had talked to me about the fact that you were connecting with Lucille Ball
Oh
a
yes,
little bit.
Lucille Ball. Do you want me to read that, even though it's not related to this?
Well, do you feel that Lucille Ball has something important
Well,
to
she always
share today?
does. Lucy is always my standby. I did this on, first of all, I got to find it here on my iPad. I don't know where we're going to read right now. She channeled this to me on January 8th. I always try to have, an ace card in my pocket, if we need to do a channeled session on the show, something for me to read. And Lucy is very close to me. And she even jokingly said to me, honey, I will never run out of things to say. You can't get someone else to talk to you. You call on me and I'll have a message of some kind. And I even have, look at this, some of my Lucy artwork here. This is based on a 1938 glamour photo of Lucille Ball that I
Oh,
painted.
wow.
I just happen to have that handy. But this is kind of a more generic message. It didn't have a shelf life on it. So it was okay to save it for a few weeks. And I always point out to people that Lucille Ball and Lucy Ricardo are two totally different women. She was a wonderful actress, like one of the greatest comedians who ever lived. Lucy Ricardo was a character that fit her like a glove. It was tailored for her by her writers, and Lucy's many years of experience, with motion pictures, vaudeville, radio. It just all came together. Radio even gave her a chance to work for the first time really in front of a studio audience, which also was found to be her forte. But I've had people get confused because Lucille Ball was always a very serious woman, very astute, serious, intelligent, not bubbly, perky Lucy like you see on TV. So sometimes when I read a message from Lucy, people are like, whoa, it's so different. I've even had people say, well, it sounds like Lucy is stuck here on earth, like her soul didn't transition to the other side or something. And I want to point out, Lucy most definitely is on the other side, and she's in a very high place doing a lot of good for people. She loves to work with actors, comedians, even people who just need assistance. She has a very big heart. So she's on the other side. So anyway, my message from Lucy, I say this with humility, but I was considered a bright, shining light for the world. I did this through my talent. The talent that was gifted to me for a reason and a purpose. A higher purpose that I may not always completely understand or comprehend. But what I did understand was the constant craving, the urgings, the hunger, the drive that was within me since I was a young girl to keep climbing and moving toward a goal. And sometimes that goal was like a carrot on a stick, but I was always doing what I loved and felt intrinsically right. It felt right to the marrow of my bones. That goal was there for a purpose. My talent would never have achieved its heights without that continual need to follow in the direction of my goals. Ultimately, all of that made me this, quote, carrier of light, unquote, which my name, Lucille, literally means. Lucille means carrier of light. I certainly never had any grandiose ideas that there was something noble or higher about just being a clown and making people laugh. But people, laughter is holy and sacred and healing. The universe chose me to be a vessel for this and to bring it forth to you around the world. All I had to do was the work, to keep doing my job, to focus on my love of the work and doing the job, keep my nose to the grindstone. The universe took care of the rest for me. It was a beautiful synergy that lives on after me. What I'm trying to say is this was not exclusive just to me. every one of you out there has your own reason and purpose. Every one of you out there is also a bright, shining light to the world. And if there is only one thing I can say to you now, it is to please be more conscious and self-aware of this. Please nurture this within yourself. Love this within yourself. Honor this within yourself. And in ways that you feel directed, give it back to the world. It is so necessary right now. You will see it for yourselves, as I did. That was Lucy's message to all of you. I loved it.
Don't you think we sometimes forget that? I mean, the whole reason why we love people that are part of film and theater is because we imagine ourselves being able to do these things, and we dream of these things. We dream that we can be these people. And when you do a channeling, what's nice about your channeling is that it's very validating in the sense that the other side is kind of saying, well, every human life has value.
That's what Lucy's saying, you know, because people I've spoken to who knew Lucy, now I've talked to her family, I've talked to her friends, coworkers, they all said she was a humble woman. You know, she wasn't swayed by all of her success and fame. She remained that every woman. And that was the secret to playing her Lucy character. Lucy was like every woman. Everybody could identify with her. She had such a humanity about her. You know, and Lucy was always a child believer. She would play that role like a little girl who just believed every premise, every situation with all of her heart and soul. And I think we as the viewers vicariously got to be her and be that little child with that wide-eyed innocence and that mischievous, and as we know about Lucy, and she always made it look like so much fun, and there was always a happy ending at the end of the show.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead. We're going to do the Empath prayer. Thank you so much for giving us that message.
Well, thank you.
Very
Whimsy.
Optimistic, and
I feel like Lucy herself is saying thank you.
You know, I agree.
She will always be here for me.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and we will upload this on YouTube. Hopefully they'll see that we're not violent people. We were just a cartoon. It was not a violent. But yeah, so now we got a community strike from that. So I don't even know if we're going to be able to do lives on YouTube for a while.
I'm seeing a lot of people on here saying that, yeah, we're still off YouTube, and that seems to be the gist of the comments.
Yeah, they won't let us back on YouTube. Like, I can't stream back on because they thought that was they thought the walrus with the gun was violent. You know, this is the second time I posted something from X that I didn't think was violent, but YouTube thinks that the stuff from X is violent, no matter.
Really?
I think it's really biased against X, even when it's not particularly violent, just because it's coming from X.
Do you think it could have to do with Elon Musk even?
I think that stuff that gets posted, like this was actually put out by Democrats, so I don't know, but it was put out on X, so.
Well, someone said here, maybe we can do the lives on Chuck's channel. We might have to do that in the future until we can get this fixed, but we'll
I don't
figure out something.
We don't have any way of doing that.
Oh, we don't? Okay.
Unless we link this.
I don't know how to do it. We might have to figure it out for the future, but let's hope in a best case scenario.
That's actually an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Authenticated with YouTube. Chuck has been authenticated with yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we will, because we can do there is a way of doing that actually that I've heard. So maybe we'll do that. If worst came to worst, we'll just put it on you. Well, you're co-producer now, so what? Doesn't matter anymore. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll do the empath prayer.
Okay.
If you'd like to receive a healing from us you were knocked off. Yeah, they thought that our
Yeah.
comedy video was too violent.
I hope people heard Lucy's message.
Well, they will. They
Yeah.
will.
Okay.
Let's do the empath's prayer. And if you'd like to receive a healing at this time, go ahead and give us your name or the name of someone you love, and we will include them in our prayers today. Don't worry, we are here and not defeated. If worse comes to worse, we can just upload it later.
Yeah.
And just tell everybody you know over at YouTube to come over to Facebook. And we've got plenty of people joining us on Facebook, so we're fine. We are fine. We're fine.
Yeah. It's interesting to read the comments here, you know, like Sabrina.
We will survive.
We will survive. Yes, we're like Gloria Gaynor.
We will survive to do political satire again.
Yeah.
This is not the last time we will do political satire.
Maybe. Oh, of course, we might get into further trouble if we played the song, but Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive."
I will survive. No,
I will survive.
We love YouTube, but come on, I think that was a little ridiculous.
Okay. I think so too. Anyway.
All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from spirits to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. And for those of you who are requesting a healing today, we come together at this time and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, collectively, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed.
May all souls.
Well, we didn't get kicked off of all the other platforms, so it seems to be only YouTube that thinks that way. Yeah. Facebook is fine with us. X is fine with us. Instagram, everybody else, it doesn't seems to understand that it's a cartoon. Oh, well, what can you do?
With all the strange things taking place right now, this is the least of it, I guess.
So listen, what are you thinking about the whole thing with Jack Smith? Let's throw some cards on Jack Smith. Be sure to go ahead and give us your questions, and we will include them in our blitzes today. Looks like we got plenty of people joining us on Facebook. So Chuck, the show must go on. And
yes,
we've also got some people from X coming in. Love it. Let's make it happen. All right. So we're going to throw a couple cards. Will Jack Smith have an impact? Will there be any consequences from Jack Smith?
Oh, yes.
Today,
I can already see my cards here as they're coming.
Oh, yeah.
Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel free to bring in those questions, everybody. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Jones. Geocosmic.
Okay. It always surprises me when because my method is just to let the cards drop out on the desk as they fall out. And how they pertain. Almost to the point where it's obvious. Jack Smith is obviously in his purpose. Look what came up. Truth. A lot of truth is coming to the surface. There is going to be judgment. And my final card I go was gifts. Gifts are coming out of this. Good is going to come from the truth emerging from Jack Smith.
Wow, that's so interesting because I had it even worse for Donald Trump. When I said, what are the consequences of Jack Smith for Trump? The first was death. What I always see when I go into Donald Trump's energy is, you're a duty face. I can do whatever I like. I'm not the duty face. You're the duty face. It's kind of like,
as Mary Trump says, he's a little 3-year-old child.
Yeah, so his reaction to being rejected, his reaction to the fact that everybody hates him now, and his approval ratings are at 38%, is death. Yeah. And look at his reaction, grief. He just wanted everybody to like him. Honey, you torture puppies. Of course people don't like you. Hopes and fears to hang up Trump. Look at these cards.
Yeah. Oh,
and who are they hanging up? Trump.
Yeah.
So here it is again. death. That's the results of the testimony.
Mhm.
And the other is grieving. That would be Trump. And over the issue of hanging him up comes
Mhm.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, duty face, Sabrina, you like that?
No,
Look at this also. Look at that.
yeah.
Clarification, stress,
Mhm.
the grief of Trump, a new beginning, springtime. You
Mhm.
had said that the beginning of the end starts now, but it could go
Mhm.
on until springtime. And look at this. This guy's facing incarceration or containment. I would not be surprised if his final days were spent in some kind of a facility, just like his dad.
Mhm. Mhm. It's heading there. But I see it all as gifts for us, from the truth. Jack Smith knows exactly what happened and is going to say what happened on January 6th. And the fact that Trump was trying to rig the election, the 2020 election. He was trying to steal the presidency. All of that's going to be coming up in the testimony if it hasn't already. And I think Trump is just desperately trying to do anything he can to discredit Jack Smith because he knows it's the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, as many of you know, Trump is his DOJ is refusing to release the Epstein files. This was the number one question I got. People are feeling frustrated. And as you may know, the Epstein victims are claiming that they're going to go ahead and release everything without him. What do you think about that?
Well, I saw that in a little news piece today. It didn't go into much detail, but it did say a lot of the victims are just going to compile their own names and make their own list without the government. So, and we've said that before on the show, that there are many people throughout the world who have access to this information. I'm certain, like, for example, King Charles had the full Epstein files. For him to do that to his brother, to even take away his title of prince, to strip him of everything, there must have been horrendous things in there. And we know for our government to be shut down for 2 whole months trying to obscure the release of these files, we know there are big names in there throughout the world.
But don't you think at the heart of it is the fact that they truly believe that they are superior? Isn't that the bottom line?
Sure.
Isn't that ultimately how this all happened, was because
Yeah.
it goes back to the remotes I've done of Harry. Before all this stuff broke out and Harry was leaving, before all of this happened, when I was doing remote views, Harry said that he was leaving. And in the remote, he said, I love my family very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a lot of strange ideas about a lot of things.
Well, we've talked about this a number of times in the last year or two about people who are elitist and they feel they make their own rules. People like Sean Diddy Combs, we've talked about him,
Right.
Trump, the whole idea of any person who wants to be a dictator is they believe they are literally superior to everyone else. I remember that channeled message I had from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, the universe will never support that kind of thinking. And that's why almost every dictator falls.
Okay, let's see if it's going to be released, the Epstein files, or are we going to have to find another way? Let's take a look.
Well, now, to be specific on the question, are we counting
is the DOJ? No,
the DOJ.
Start with the DOJ.
Are they going to release it?
What a bunch of horrible people.
Yeah.
And Trump is not protecting himself.
Oh,
he's not protecting his friends. He's protecting himself.
Well, the irony is, as he's trying to deflect from all of this, he's calling more attention to it. He's actually intensifying it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Let me get my pencil.
Oh, my God.
Will the DOJ?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my.
I have a feeling there's something much juicier than me.
God.
Well, I'm going to let you have most of this. I'm just going to say real quick, because that's why I was trying to get an answer on my pendulum, because what I get is they're going about their business, but right now they're more concerned about their own survival and saving their own asses. So that's going to be in the way of releasing the files as far as the DOJ goes. But anyway, I think we all want to hear what you have to say, Whimsy.
Oh, my God. Well, the first
oh, my God.
Death.
Whoa.
It is over for Donald Trump. Epstein is going to be one of the main things that takes him out, is death. The opposition, Trump, look at this. death with the tower.
Mm.
Look at that.
Oh.
This feels to me like the house is going down, like the White House is going down, like look at this
Oh, yeah.
explosion that's
Yeah.
happening in the house. It's like they cannot suppress this. This can of worms is opening up, and every horrible, rotten person that was involved in this
I
from
agree.
1983 when this horrible thing got started, and it's only going to get worse. Look at this. Look at all the backstabbing. Well,
I
it wasn't me.
know.
Well, you took me to that party. Well, you told me.
Oh, yeah.
So now they begin to feed off of each other. Look at that.
Sure.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then the final outcome is within 30 days. So it's
February, like we've been
somehow,
saying.
some way, this thing is getting released, and
Yeah.
it is going to be devastating for them. It is going to be absolutely devastating for them.
It feels to me it is definitely going to be outside of the DOJ that this gets released, but it's going to get released. When you're saying,
Yeah. Well, I think that's the next question. People want to know if the
Yeah.
survivors themselves. I have a list, by the way. I get email, so I have a list of questions. If Joel
Yeah.
can't give them, I get them. But
Yeah.
so the next question has to do with are the names going to be released by the survivors, and will we be shocked by the names? I absolutely want to see the names.
Oh, yeah.
Take a
There's no
look.
question we're going to be shocked.
You think
But-
so?
Oh.
You think that they're going to release the names?
Well,
let's take a look.
I think outside of the DOJ, because what I'm getting, like I got before, the DOJ is trying to cover their own assets right now, but they're not going to be successful. I'm getting a strong hit. It's going to be outsiders that are going to release this, but it is going to come forth, and it is going to be devastating and shocking. The names in there.
Oh my God!
But
go ahead.
I'm so sorry. So the question again, please.
Are the survivors going to release the names?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just got a huge yes on my pendulum there. It's like, no question. That's where it's going to come from. That's at least that's what it's feeling to me.
I just feel this terror in Congress.
Of course there is.
That they're terrified. People are going down and they're genuinely terrified. Look at this. Again, death, and look at all that fighting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the government should not have shut down for 2 months.
And grief.
Otherwise.
Fighting and grief, and then a new contract or new deal comes. So, by the way, that's also evidence in a case in the next couple of weeks. Dang, I don't think there's any way that Trump can protect himself.
No. I keep getting energetically, sometimes it's abstract when we get energetic hits, but I keep feeling like America is like imploding upon itself right now, especially like what happened in Davos, Switzerland, when Trump basically humiliated our nation to the entire world. And I was reading a piece from Mary Trump today where she said the world is not just blaming Donald Trump. They're looking at the American people who elected him. They're looking at the Supreme Court. They're looking at Congress that keeps empowering this lunatic. And the world is just like, oh, no more. No, we have lost so much respect and standing. And to me, that just feels like America imploding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Okay, this next question has to do with concerns people are having about NATO and the fact that NATO is basically saying that they're going to go on their own, even to the point of people think that they could go to war with NATO. NATO could go to war with the United States. NATO has said we would back the United States if the United States was vulnerable. Do you think that our situation is going to get better or worse with NATO and NATO countries? What do you see as the future of our relationship with them?
Well, I think as long as this present administration stands, no, I just see it getting worse and worse. There has to be a lot of healing and repair, and this could take years. It could take generations. But I mean, to have a fellow member of NATO threatening another country in NATO, this is unprecedented. And all of the European leaders are absolutely disgusted and dismayed right now. Everybody is part of the NATO alliance. Like Mark Carney, Canada, said, this isn't like some little break. This is like a fissure. This is like almost like a total collapse is what is happening. And I think president is the correct term. The leader of Belgium was even saying that about how can a member of NATO, where we've all for like 80 years, we've been protecting each other. The whole
I'm
point of
worried.
NATO, what was that?
I'm worried. I'm worried
Yeah,
about
I know,
our
and so
permanent relationship with
so
Europe.
I
That's why I want
know
to do this reading, because
Trump has done so much damage, which is obvious.
well, let's throw the card.
Okay, so what the question is?
The future of the
future
U.S.
of USA
relationship
and
with
NATO.
NATO. I'm scared.
Yeah. Oh no, don't like that card.
You know, they could turn around and kick us out, in which case we're on our own, and then we're vulnerable. Do you see? Oh God, this president's
well, this is where, you know, I don't like readings like this because it doesn't look good, and I don't like to be the bearer of that, but I'm just being honest and say what I got. You heard me even gasp out loud at a couple of the cards. I got obviously huge discontent, suffering. This is the card that made me gasp. Death. I got death.
Me too.
And then look at this card. The partnership and love card was upside down.
That's not
the
good.
opposite. I know that's not good. So I
Broken
got that
contract.
and the death card. So that's why you heard me like gasping. Well, what did you get, Whimsy?
I think that this is exactly what 25 wanted. They wanted to go it alone America, the end of globalism, and it's going to continue to be pushed by Vance. We are in a very vulnerable situation. Here it goes, same as you. We have the death card and justice coming in, and hopes and fears. It's like a bunch of rich people. We don't want to pay for NATO. We don't want to pay for anything. We don't want to pay for our taxes. We're 3-year-old kids with temper tantrums. You know, what do they say about people who do pedo crimes? You know, essay, they're children themselves mentally, so they're attracted to other children. But you have this sobriety. Bottom line is that they don't want to pay for their entrance into NATO. It's a money issue.
I know.
We're broke. We're broke because they don't want to pay their taxes, because they hid their money overseas in the Cayman Islands along with their slaves.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I know. Donald Trump, in his crazy rambling speech yesterday in Davos, was saying stuff like, well, NATO doesn't pay its bills or something stupid. NATO doesn't pay its bills, and NATO hasn't done anything for us, and which is not true. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Whimsy. You're still pulling cards. I'm sorry.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are we serious here?
I know I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's basically part of what he said.
Well, but what they pointed out was that we didn't go it alone after September 11th.
No, they were there for us for September 11th, and it's my understanding they supported us. Was it Afghanistan? What was it? It was something.
Yeah, Afghanistan. We had to go into Afghanistan to clear the terrorist.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. This is a question that we got from the other stream that we didn't get to, and it was something that I wanted to mention to you too, and it has to do with the great freeze that was predicted. All right. So we predicted that there would be a great freeze. I guess we're going back to that question, which we had gotten before. The great freeze. How will Trump administration handle the great freeze? We didn't really get a chance to talk about this because we got knocked off of this. But I want to go back to that conversation because this, I think, is really important for people to understand. And that is that we're talking about what could potentially be an environmental catastrophe that could go on for weeks. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I'm here looking at cards as they're coming out of the deck. They're not looking good so far, but you want to
talk about it first? You want to talk about it first? Like, my concern is that we have so much snow, we have so much ice that when it starts to melt, it's not just that people are freezing to death in the because this president has made everybody so broke they can't boil a can of soup. Well, what's going to happen when all that ice melts? We're talking about another catastrophe. And I'm concerned particularly about flooding in the Northeast, some of the Midwest as well.
Mudslides, but also if money is running out, are we going to be able to pay to rescue people, fix power lines, I'm thinking, like people, we talk about flooding. One big problem, people who live in areas where there are freeze overs, their water pipes can freeze and burst. I've heard of stories of basements getting flooded, houses getting flooded. I'm wondering if that could be part of what you're picking up on when you say flooding.
Yeah, I'm very, very worried about it
Yeah.
because this is an historical freeze, and if you have a government that's completely dysfunctional, you've got kids coming down with measles
Oh, yes.
and all of these other.
Yeah. Because I'm wondering about FEMA, the state of FEMA, because hasn't there been a lot of budget cuts to FEMA?
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
and what it feels to me, and this is the main point, I said, "Remind me to talk about this when we go live tomorrow or when we go live."
Yeah.
It feels to me like it's the last thing that makes people hate this president. Remember Katrina and what happened after Katrina when George Bush left, the way they
Oh,
booed him out the
wait.
door, and he could hear the booing as
Yes.
he got on the helicopter?
Because as I recall, he was so shielded in the White House that for something like 3 days, he didn't even know about Katrina. You know, he was oblivious. George W. Bush.
I know when Obama took the White House and when he came out, he was on the podium, he could hear the boos were so loud that he was visibly shaken by it, and it feels to me like a repeat of that. It
Yeah.
feels to me like now we have Trump, and we're headed towards his Katrina, and it's this freeze. I'm telling you, I think this might be the last straw
This
for the
just might
American
be.
people.
It seems because, supposedly that's what got him elected. Everybody worried about the economy, that cliche about the price of eggs and milk and stuff. Well, I
Right.
mean, it's been catastrophic. People, January had their healthcare rates skyrocket. All the massive inflation we're seeing, what it costs now to go to a grocery store, these stupid tariffs, what it's doing to everyone. So I think, when you hit people in their personal pocketbook, that's like the cardinal sin. And
Well,
this
it's also
very much
people's
falls
lives
into
at
that.
risk. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and throw this will be our last throw.
Okay.
Sorry about the inconvenience, everybody. We didn't
Yes,
know
sorry.
walruses were gonna get us in trouble. What can you do?
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and let's just see what the consequences, how bad is this storm gonna be, and how is the Trump administration gonna handle this disaster? I don't think they're gonna handle it well.
No, they aren't. And again, God, I hate when I get really bad cards like this and have to announce stuff. But that's why I was a little distracted and you asked me to talk, because I was here looking at my cards. But
Right.
But I mean, I'm just getting, I ain't even showing this. Loss, despair, suffering, and of course discontent seems rather minor after those first 3 cards. But no, this is not good. But I think discontent is just what you said. This is going to be like the last straw. People are going to be furious, discontented, very unhappy with Donald Trump, even the last of the supporters. This might be what's going to, how they like to call us, woke. Well, this may be what's going to wake them up.
That's what I'm thinking. And
Yeah.
can you mention to people again what the name of those states are that we're talking about could be in serious condition?
Yes.
Because I think they're mostly red states.
Well, yes, they are, and mostly in the South, the Bible Belt, the South. It's Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia.
Yeah, and he won almost every state.
Well, he didn't win Virginia. That I know.
That's right, he didn't win.
My home state has started to turn around and become a blue state. We just recently elected our first female governor, a Democrat, and I'm very proud of my state for doing that.
It looks like the Democrats, the best thing that can happen right now is for Democratic governors, Democratic Congress people, and Democratic activists to do everything in your power in your districts to make sure that you are the first person on the scene, making sure you've got those blankets, water, etc., there for everybody who needs it. This is the time for us to really shine, because this is something that we liberals and Democrats really strongly believe in, which is taking care of those that are vulnerable. And so if we can get out there with government agencies, activism, etc., in those states that are most affected, I think it's going to be a huge contrast. And I think that the American people are going to start to see who really cares about them.
Yeah. But I think we've known this for several months now. It's up to us as individuals. We got to look out for each other. ourselves and each other, because it's like our government abandoned us.
Yeah.
It feels that way.
Yeah, and the disaster hasn't even happened yet, but we're projecting in the next couple of weeks.
Mhm.
And where do you think Trump is gonna be? I'll tell you where I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be on the golf course in Florida, avoiding that big freeze out of DC.
Of course he is. And probably oblivious. Or if not oblivious, just not giving a crap.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares. The man does not have one shred of empathy. He's all about himself and the money. And
like I said in the collective reading on Sunday, batten down the hatches, take care of yourselves, be about your business, children, take care of your physical health, take care of your finances, make sure your four walls are safe. Chuck will tell you things can happen, like the flood, and all we can do is take care of ourselves at this time while this crazy energy passes. And I predict that this is going to be a disastrous couple of weeks for Donald Trump. And I think that this is the time when we finally see the end of this love affair between Donald Trump and the GOP.
Well, yeah, if there ever sincerely was a love affair, if they were just going along with it. But it still astounds me the number of people who still support Trump. On my Facebook, I've mentioned this. I have some friends, went to school with and throughout the years who are frankly Trump reporters, but supporters, not reporters. But I've always thought, okay, I'll just agree to disagree with you. And I just don't look at them on Facebook. But I picked 3 random people to see if they had changed their tune any in the last month. No, they've doubled down. They're taking a stance even stronger in their support for Donald Trump. And I realize these people, it's like a cult. They're brainwashed. Nothing seemingly will change their minds. But maybe having their personal
Sasha Riley, maybe the expose on Sasha Riley.
That could do it. But I tend to think what we said, it's people's personal finances being affected. That's like the cardinal sin. People are not going to forgive that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my love. Did you have fun today, even with all the glitches?
I had fun. I wish we had our whole audience here.
It's okay. They'll see it on the tape.
They'll see it on the tape. Because I had that great message from Lucy. I hope enough people get to hear it. And I always love doing this with you, Whimsy, and being with all of you wonderful people out there and talking with you. You're beautiful. We sincerely love you. We're grateful for you.
Thank you all for being here. And Chuck, if they want to have a reading with you, how do they reach you?
Well, it is, I don't see my name there, but it's Dransfield Chuck, one word. It's not printed on, I don't know. But anyway, there we go. Okay. So Dransfield Chuck, one word, at gmail.com. I would love to read for you. It's one of the great joys of my own life. Always an honor and a privilege. I do original artwork, and I often receive messages from the subject. So I give you more than just a piece of artwork. And so I take commissions. I've even done pet portraits and received messages. And let's see, also I have Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, my channel, and I do a chat show on Mondays called Chuck's Captivating Chat, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully we'll be back on YouTube next time, so we won't have to go to my channel, but we have it as a backup.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you need to see me, you can contact me through Booksy, Dr. Whimsy Anderson, for readings and for medical consultations. I guess that's all we have for you today. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you all next time. Thanks, everyone.
See you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.